As singers hit high notes on stage, musicians in the pit play with precision. And the person making sure the music has the right tempo and that everyone comes in at the right time, Maestro James Mina.
Can't tell you why I love it, I just do.
He's got 3 jobs: general director, principal conductor, and artistic director. When he's conducting, there's only one thing on his mind.
The composer has written definitively what he wants, and the conductor's job is then to lead the performance and the performers in a specific way.
When Mina's not in front of an audience, he likes to decompress at home in his kitchen.
Part of the reason I love cooking, though, is it allows me to kind of let my mind just go and wander.
On this day, he's making his signature dish.
This is a takeoff of braciole, which is an Italian dish. Healthy food.
He also enjoys time alone, singing and playing the piano. A graduate of Carnegie Mellon University and Baldwin Wallace College Conservatory of Music, Mina's taught or conducted music for more than 40 years.
Working with Maestro Mina is like working with a singer. He has the singer in mind, he breathes with the singer, which is an incredible thing in this business.
Soprano Catherine Lewick portrayed Rosina in Opera Carolina's fall production of The Barber of Seville.
Maestro Mina is an expert at understanding not only that we have a lot on our plate up here, but his task is a million times harder.
It's totally wonderful to work under his direction. He memorized every word. We have to be careful.
Mina has an amazing ability to memorize every score without having to look at the music.
He knows what the first violins are doing. He knows what the timpani is doing. He knows what the soprano is singing. He knows what the tenor is singing. He knows every little moment.
He gives you the freedom to explore. And then if it's not as written, he brings you back to what's written. But within the umbrella of creativity, I mean, you have your own voice in it. So you're not a robot.
Opera Carolina began in 1948 by a group called the Charlotte Music Club. During the early years, volunteers did everything from building sets and designing costumes to singing principal roles and selling tickets.
Other than the New Orleans Opera, which traces its history back to the 1700s and the French colonies, Opera Carolina is the oldest opera company in the Southeast. Probably one of the oldest in the country.
During its 68-year history, the company weathered lots of ups and downs, including the financial crisis of 2008, which forced Opera Carolina to make drastic cuts.
We cut the main stage season down from 4 productions to 3. We eliminated some unfunded education programs, and we came out of the financial crisis in good shape.
A fully professional company with an annual operating budget of $2.9 million, Mina says he'd like to expand programs and fill more seats.
We've also done a great deal of work in cultivating new audiences, doing that through social networking, doing everything we can possibly do to get the idea out to the community that opera is a great art form.
Recently, they've started offering Tweet Seats and Beyond, where tech-savvy folks sit in a designated area to tweet, Facebook, and Instagram during a performance. They're hoping this creates a social media buzz about new productions and entices new patrons. And perhaps it's working. 2 years in a row, the 25 to 40-year-old crowd has grown to become Opera Carolina's largest demographic, and by opera standards, Charlotte has a very young audience.
It's kind of a social engineering exercise that we do, bringing people from across the community together to have a shared experience.
But if you think a night at the opera is highbrow or too stuffy, Mina offers this advice.
Give it a try. You know, I love to say opera is like a Broadway show on steroids. Everything you like about a Broadway show, there's more of it and it's bigger at opera. That's why we call it grand opera, because it is big. Once they try it, they realize that the experience really is fabulous.
and an experience that makes patrons want to come back for another performance after the final curtain falls. For Carolina Impact, I'm Jeff Rivenbark reporting.